Okay, what's up, guys? Today we're reacting to MSA My Story Animated, which they're the most cringiest things ever. No offense, but seriously.
Censor that, please.
We're watching the most popular one.
Please censor that.
I was running through the rain trying to get home as quickly as possible when I noticed my crush James walking onto the school grounds. I didn't want him to see me like this. I was soaked to the bone, looking like a drowned rat. But I had to know what he was up to. What if he was breaking into the school? I decided to follow him. And at one point, I swear, he turned around and looked right at me. I didn't know if I was seeing things, but it even looked like he smiled at me. Wait, did he want me to follow him? Suddenly, I felt brave. I was going to tell him how I felt. The moment I'd waited for my whole life had arrived. But then I saw him climbing into the tornado shelter, and that should have been my first warning not to keep following him, because things were about to get super weird. Before I unleash my crazy story onto you, click like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the madness that My Story Animated has in store for you. Okay, so there I was, climbing into a tornado shelter after my crush, with absolutely no plan of what I'd do next. I was acting purely on impulse, and it felt amazing. I felt sure he knew I'd climbed in after him, but I couldn't see anything, so I used the flashlight on my phone and realized he'd already gone down the stairs. The rain was really pouring now, so I closed the lid. The last thing I wanted was to flood the shelter. Not on a special night like tonight. I'd never been this close to James before, just the two of us alone. Except we weren't alone. As soon as I closed the lid, I heard a girl's voice. No! I started panicking and decided this had been a
Where'd your eyes go? I mean,
She probably ripped them out here.
I know. Did you are those antennas or something? What are those fingers, dog? What are those fingers? Okay.
She's the bad guy, I bet you.
Yeah, let's go back to this.
stupid idea.
That hunchback! Look at that!
Bro,
I pushed the lid to climb back out, but it wouldn't open. No matter how hard I pushed it, it didn't budge. Oh my gosh, I was
Wait, her eyes melted.
Is that supposed to be crying? Because that looks nothing like crying.
stuck. If it had just been me and James down there,
Okay, censor that, please. Censor that.
Yo.
it would have been quite exciting.
Oh, Joel.
But suddenly I heard a kissing sound and I
What? Wait, what? Hearts.
realized my worst nightmare had just come true. I was stuck in a tornado shelter.
Oh my god, what the heck? James, whatever your name was. Why?
Why'd you have to do this to me?
No, why'd you have to do that to whatever her name was? Talking Angela or something.
With my crush and his girlfriend by the sounds of things. I didn't want them to know I was there, like some creepy stalkers, so I tried to keep as quiet as possible. I could hear them laughing, and then the girl said, "Did anyone see you come in?"
She freaking looks white. Like, for real. Look how white that looks. Dog, I'm not even...
Here? I hope we didn't get caught. And James replied, "No, I don't think so. Oh no, wait, there was a girl from my school, but she wouldn't say anything. She's such a loser." At that, I
Such a loser? Oh my god, look how depressed she is. That's the face of a depressed...
had to cover my face. I wanted to cry. It felt he'd shoved a knife through my heart. And then I felt angry. I had to get out of there. This was literally the most embarrassing situation to ever be in. And what would my parents think when they found out? I gave the lid one final push, but I pushed too hard. The next moment, I lost my footing and was rolling down the stairs. I landed with a thump and
She definitely fell into a concussion when that happened.
Oh my god.
And it's brutal.
Where is she though? Why is the background...
blacked out for a second. When I opened my eyes, James and his girlfriend were standing over me. They didn't even ask me if I was okay. James just looked down at me and said, "Did you follow me here? What are you playing at?" Then he turned to his girlfriend and said, "Come on, babe, let's bounce." Then they just left me lying
What the heck? Sounds like a little polka dot right
there and headed up the stairs. I was about to tell them
there.
that we were trapped down
She has a beard.
there, but they'd soon discover it for themselves. I could hear James bashing on the lid of the shelter, but obviously it wouldn't open. And then he shouted down to me and asked if I'd done this and if I thought it was funny. No, James, I did not find this funny. I wanted to
Oh my god, that was a jump scare.
shout up at him. Gosh, what would he say if he knew how much I wished I were his girlfriend and not that dumb blonde girl? Then he started shouting about how he had to get out ASAP because the
Where's that eye? Where?
And why
Why the brown mouth? It looks like a freaking beard.
Yeah, same thing with the
next day was his big football game that was going to guarantee him scholarship to a top college. He said he had to get it, otherwise he'd be stuck in this stupid town forever. Oh no, this was a disaster, and it was only just the beginning. I sat up and looked around with my flashlight on my phone and realized there was literally nothing down there except for some sandbags and an old scratchy blanket that looked like 1,000 bugs might be living in it. And then I realized I was shivering, like properly.
How can it be cold in a tornado shelter? I know we're not from like tornado areas, but it is not cold there. In a tornado shelter, it is freaking not cold.
Freezing cold. My phone was on 10%. Not that it mattered. There was absolutely no signal down there anyway. I didn't even have a bottle of water on me, and by the looks of things, James and his girlfriend had nothing either. Oh man.
911, that's what she should do.
I held my breath as they came down the stairs. I was so scared of what they'd say to me. They were arguing, and James's girlfriend came right up to me and said, "This is all your fault. You've ruined everything." Truly, that felt like the most awkward moment of my entire life. James started trying and called her name was Amy. She must have gone to another school because I'd never seen her before. Neither of them had signal either, and soon they started screaming for help. I didn't want to tell them it was pointless. The rain was so loud, no one would hear us even.
See, how can it not get out? Look at that.
Even if they were above us. Eventually, I told them I was sorry, even though it wasn't my fault. I lied and told them I'd been trying to shelter from the rain because I'd forgotten my umbrella. But Amy didn't buy it. She said, "Yeah, right. You're clearly a stalker. Do you get kicks out of watching other people making out or something?" James said you're a...
Wait, what? Look at that face. She's like,
He's like,
I don't know. She's like, that's definitely, she definitely. And what is his forehead, bro? Look at this freaking forehead.
massive forehead.
I could play tic-tac-toe on that.
a loser, and he wasn't joking. Look at you. If I hadn't already been underground, I'd have asked the ground to swallow me up. No one had ever been so mean to me before. After that, it was really uncomfortable, and all of us were in a bad mood. Soon, it